right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Alan, this is Spots Corner Gaming, and welcome to the Last Caretaker. I have been wanting to play this game for some time. Alright, so, brand new game. Well, brand new game forced upon us, kind of, because Bethesda, in their infinite wisdom, decided to force an update through Steam that borked my entire installation of Fallout London. So that is on hold for a while I try and get that mess figured out. It was a major pain in the rear end to get it working the first time, so that's going to take some time. In the interim, we're going to move on to this game. I have been wanting to play this since the demos first came out. It's finally at a point where it's more or less playable. And I have a very different concept for this game. So, they call this game an open world survival game. I don't agree, actually. I think this is more an open world puzzle game. So, there are technically enemies in this game, but even when playing legally, which we're not going to be doing, those enemies are a minor inconvenience at worst. Most of them, you can take down multiple enemies with one swing of your weapon. They're kind of a joke. Even the bigger enemies, it's just not that big a deal. The enemies just don't need to exist in this game. So, we're going to be playing with a number of cheats turned on that essentially completely remove the survival aspect to this game. So, infinite health, infinite energy. The boat's going to have infinite gas. And everything else we'll kind of figure out along the way. The goal here is to really bring out the story and the puzzle-solving aspect of the game rather than the survival, which, I don't really care for survival games, honestly. So we're going to do this one a little different. There are going to be some cheats in play, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's get to it.
It's dark and quiet now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
So you'll see these in many places, this combination of electrical panel and main switch.
Good work, Caretaker. Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
Indeed. However, we are going to be coming back here soon enough because there's all kinds of good scrap in here. Fortunately, thank the Lord, the makers of this game were smart enough to make it so that all of these cables do not have any collision, because they can sometimes get kind of tangled up.
Caretaker, begin by tending to your own systems. Vitality first. The ferrofluid in your brain is not ordinary fluid. It was designed as a living system, adapted
So this is an enemy. And that's it. 99% of the enemies in this game, that's all it takes to kill them. As you can see, that was nothing.
There she is, your vessel. More than just metal and circuits. It's your freedom. This boat is how you'll reclaim the seas, and perhaps even your identity. The dock systems are offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power, Caretaker, so we can sail again.
Don't exactly remember how to do that. I have played this game a little bit already, and I don't quite remember these early areas. Oh, that's the other thing. We'll max out our level pretty quickly, just by deconstructing items, collecting items. You actually get levels and experience. It's kind of crazy. Let that battery slowly charge the boat up. This small diesel canister. Don't think I have a diesel line yet for that. So we'll have to use this one, I guess. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Okay, so we've got the boat getting fueled up. Okay, now, as for getting things powered back up, okay. That's not powered on. There's all kinds of interesting things you can find in the ventilation system of this place. connected to this battery. Connect you also into that battery. Set that to go feed all into the big one. And we'll feed the big one back out to this block. And then we'll feed this block over to here.
The dock is alive again, thanks to you. Each step forward reconnects us to a brighter future. Caretaker, you were never meant to remain bound. These waters were once pathways, carrying life, purpose, and discovery. Something awaits you out there, ready to be reclaimed.
Ah, yeah, okay, so that's a shortcut to the surface. Alrighty. Okay, next up. Yeah, you get all these little guys that come out. Okay, so this requires a whole bunch of stuff to fix that we don't have a lot of yet. Okay, so that one works. Already plugged in. Okay, and then that feeds down the stairs to here. Okay, and now we have a regenerative power supply that doesn't rely on those batteries. If we can get a little bit more materials to fix more of those Oh, right, and I almost forgot. So as we level up, we unlock the ability to craft things. I have no idea what sense it makes to tie crafting to levels of the character, since you don't particularly really gain any additional knowledge of crafting It's not like it's a skill that you have to level up. Doesn't really work that way. So I don't really get what sense this mechanic makes. So again, we're just gonna cheat that. So whatever level we happen to be, we're just gonna unlock everything from that level because I don't get why you wouldn't do that. You know what? This is gonna take a minute. Okay, I think we have all the setup done now. So that should be effectively a removal of the survival aspect from the game. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the next stop is with the making of level 2. Skills. With the making of level 2, we unlocked a dismantling tool, as well as a couple of other bits and bobs that we'll need to use to get the ship going. Okay. So with the dismantling tool, we can now start in on the real work at hand, which is the complete and utter stripping of every single item on this entire base, which is going to take a few minutes. Also, let me get you a good view if I can. Let's go up here. Yeah. Water world. So, the intro doesn't tell you much, but let me fill in some gaps on the story of this game while we have a moment to look at this beautiful sunset. So, you are an android. A caretaker, in fact. The last caretaker. So, humanity basically screwed up the world, which resulted in Waterworld. And they thought that by moving to the stars, they could escape and continue on. Well, turns out new life doesn't breed well in the stars, so that didn't really work out. But they discovered a technology that lets you grow humans from a seed that contains the memories and essence of people. So it's our job to find and cultivate those seeds and send them back out into the stars so that humanity can persist. This part does unfortunately take quite a long time to complete. Because this place doesn't look that large on the map, but it is quite large when you actually explore it. But if we take the time now to get everything looted and dismantled, it will give us a good solid base of materials to work with later. This is a recurring theme in this game. There's a lot of places you can only access initially by crawling through the ventilation. Don't actually want to go down quite yet. I do want to completely gut the roof before we go back down to the hangar bay. Level 3. Oh yeah, okay, the diesel engine cylinder. We do need that to actually get the ship moving. First basic electrical pistol. Glow sticks, and don't really use those. And wind energy, which will be good at night when the ship can't get electricity from the solar panels. Okay. And again, I don't want to go down just quite yet. See what I mean? Yes, there are enemies. And they are largely not really a big deal. Now, one nice thing is, I haven't actually tested this, but I believe it's true, that it does seem you get back 100% of your crafting materials when you do deconstruct something. Okay. That is most likely not enough power, but let's try anyway. Ah, it is actually enough power. Okay. Yeah, so you can... So this shows a lot of other stuff. You can craft from either the crafting machine or from your inventory. Both do work. we do have copies of both of these machines on the ship. So, deposit all trash. And this is going to take the various scraps that we find when we disassemble, and it will break those down into the actual components. So, actual plastic, actual copper. So, we'll let that machine do its thing. And we'll finish the looting of this area. Yeah, so you can see this barrel breaks down to metal scraps and plastic scraps. So, scraps are just that. They're scraps, right? So, if you have metal scraps, well, that's going to only break down to iron. Plastic only breaks down to plastic. But if you find things like tech scraps, for instance, tech scraps have a few different things that they could possibly break down into when you process them back into their raw materials in that machine. So things like the silicon that you will need to fix those electrical arrays. But right now we just need materials, and lots of them, for the journey ahead. So we are going to take the time and scrap every single thing that can be scrapped in this base. It will be time consuming. We will eventually get to the point, though, where we have so much plastic and so much metal that we won't need to scrap things anymore that have only those two items. But for now, we do need them. And yes, you can actually get down to the water level, and yes, you can swim. However, there are robotic sharks in this water that will gank you real quick. One thing I do like, though, instead of just simply being a barrier, those robotic sharks can actually be killed and dismantled for scrap. However, it is very difficult to kill them. And the starting character certainly does not have the ability or the weapons to do so. We are going to be keeping that guy well fed until the scrapping job is done. Eventually we'll move the scrapping job down to the machine on the ship because it's just better. And once we're fully and completely done and ready to set sail, all of these electrical cables and that box and probably all of these up here will all get scrapped out and their materials taken as well. We really do want to leave this place like an absolute skeleton because there is no ever coming back. There's no reason to, no need to, and we will not be. Can't reach that guy from down here. But it looks like there's nothing further down there anyway. Yeah, there's our shark thread right there. There's a number of those all over the place. You can probably also see there are just little items dotted all over. And there are actually quite a few places to visit. The wiki says that there are quote-unquote dozens of locations. I tend to actually believe that. I have seen quite a few of them on my other playthrough. Most of them are purely resource dumps that are not absolutely, strictly speaking, required for the main quest to move forward. You do have to completely kill the bulb in the middle and the little guys that come out. Otherwise, they will absolutely respawn eventually. Does that need yeah, silicon. Okay. And you do actually get resources for killing the little guys, too. The robotic guys give you appropriate materials. Yeah. So these broken robots, these give tech scraps, wire, aluminum, glass. These are a wealth of good materials. And those... I feel like I'm shouting over the weather. That's maybe a bit better. All of these types of items, they all contribute to something called memories. Which I cannot find right at the moment. I think we have to go to a Pecco terminal to activate those. That goes to the water line. It does tend to get pretty dark when there's bad weather like this. This game does actually have mods. If you are a frequenter of the Nexus mods site, there are actually mods for this game. In fact, on that note, if anyone can come up with a mod to just get rid of the day-night cycle entirely and just make it day all the time, I will be your best friend forever. Other than the night usually brings out these little worm creatures, which we have removed because why? Again, enemies are kind of pointless in this game. But in the context of a purely non-survival, puzzle version playthrough of this game that we're doing, the day-night cycle is just an inconvenience that's just not necessary. It doesn't really add or contribute anything useful to the game that I can see. And I do like the fact that although we're in first person, you can see yourself. I actually have feet. So many times, first person only games don't let you actually see yourself. Okay, that goes down to the water. Nothing up there. We looted that building already. on. There you go. Okay, I think that's just about everything from the roof, unless I have drastically missed something, which is entirely possible. This game very much likes to hide materials all over the place. Every base has little cubby holes and nests all over the place where people hid stuff. Okay, so deposit all trash. And it looks like we don't have any power coming in because it is not daytime. So let's take down one of these. Let's see if we can fix one of the... Oh, this one's actually working. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, sun's coming up. Okay, well, then in that case, I think what we're going to do, just so that that's available for the next little bit, I don't think we can run a cable quite that far, but we shall try. Oh, hey, it actually reaches. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's running again. Okay. I believe the roof is done. Let's move on to the next little area. No. Okay, now let's run back to the starting area. Oh, so this is one mechanic about this game, honestly, I don't like. You can't just save anywhere you want. Unfortunately, you can only save where there are these backup stations. So let's go cable to ourselves, and let's back up to backup slot. Yeah, so that's my main game. So this will be the new game. Yes? Okay. And we'll get that fixed. Okay. And then resave. There we go. Okay. What's there? No, no other entrances or exits to that room. Now, this we do need to keep here for the moment so we can get up into this space. Now that brought us back to here. Oh, huh. That's kind of a useless loop. Some of these locations are a bit of a maze, and the starting base is no exception. It's actually quite a large maze, in fact. Oh, this is the Pecco terminal. Yep. Okay, so this is a Pecco terminal. There is a lot of lore available in this terminal. Security of the various cameras at the base. That's us right there. That's what we look like. We're a robot, just like all the broken ones. Those are the caretakers. We are the last. The ship. This is where we see lore about a lot of different areas, the last days on Earth, before people left and or died. We're not going to get into the lore too much. I do want to keep focus on the puzzle aspect of the game. Okay, so we do need to go back to the starting area to get that cleared out.
Every system depends on what you recover. Use your dismantle unit to break objects in the trash, then feed that into the recycler, or place entire items directly into a recycler module. The machine will refine them into base materials, metal, composites, polymers, each type different depending on what you require.
Okay, that's one of those drops from one of the other ventilation things we saw.
Any fabrication modules contain parts, plates, coupling, concrete seals. Parts are the building blocks for modules, and modules feed upon the lot. In the field, this simplifies things, but fabrication is faster and more efficient. There are no shifts, no resupply. What you reclaim and what you build is all that remains. Recycle, fabricate, construct. This is the loop that sustains the mission. Break it, and everything.
all these old monitors and technology and stuff, that's the good stuff. That's where we get the tech scraps from. Tech scraps ultimately gives us things like silicon, sometimes copper, which we get from wiring, sometimes, yoink. Sometimes titanium, just all kinds of useful stuff, really. And in fact, these machines themselves can also be scrapped. We've got duplicates on the ship, so there's no great loss by doing that. Really? I did not know we could disassemble these big stationary batteries. Cool. Alrighty.
Everything stops. Caretaker, nothing is wasted. Conversations are critical. Every system you use depends on what you recover.
Okay, so this is not where I want it to be.
The machine will refine them into base materials. Metal, composites, polymer.
How did we get back to the starting area? I don't exactly remember. This is the outside. Was it? Might as well check on this while we're here. It's actually almost done. That is excellent timing. Okay. Reel that in. Reel that in. Reel that in. Not actually sure if I can remove that power source yet, so we will hold off on doing that. What we can do, since there's no need to fix them anyway, is take all these broken ones and reclaim the solar cells. We will certainly need to make use of those solar cells later on the ship. No. is also broken. Okay. Dang it. Didn't want to do that. Now, oh, since we're here, right, no power. Okay, so need to take you. Here. Go. No. Oh, right. Would be helpful to actually fix the engine before you try and use it. Okay. Ah, made level 5. Okay, this bed is worth... Whoa, hello. This bed is worth tech scraps and high-tech scraps. Which is really good stuff when it breaks down. And despite my best efforts, these marine fenders, you know, you'd think there'd be like a way to attach them to the side of the ship. Devs, seriously, missed opportunity. There should be a way to attach them to the side of the ships. But there isn't. Or not any I found anyway. Okay. Now then, let's get back to finding the starting area again, because again, I don't exactly remember how to get back to it. That's here. Sometimes boxes can be useful for stacking to reach ventilation ducts or other things, but there doesn't appear to be a need for that in this instance, so we'll just get rid of them. Yeah, here we go. I also don't really see the point of having the actual dismantling process take arbitrary longer or shorter amounts of time depending on what you're scrapping. I guess in terms of realism that sort of makes sense, but as a game mechanic, it seems sort of pointless. Like it's just there to take up more of your time. Why why isn't it just, like 1 second for anything and there you go? Not taking the elevator down.
Recognition. You require persistence. Begin the cycle. Keep the flow steady. Carry on, Caretaker. Caretaker. Systems active. Cycle beginning. Your mission remains the same. Grow, sustain, deliver. Lazarus pods require constant supervision. Confirm water supply. Confirm electrical flow. Ensure nutrient delivery continues without interruption. Growth was not paused. Pod carries one human seed. Memory stream during
Oh,
growth.
small tree. Cool.
Define strength and body. Water and electricity keep the process alive. Surface conditions remain unstable. Human presence absent. But your task does not change. Maintain the pods. Protect the racks. Secure continuity. Humans who grow will not remember you. They will not thank you. But without you, they cannot exist.
There's way too much good material here to just leave this stuff behind.
Balanced. Without flow, responsiveness fades, joints degrade, and shutdown follow. Cycle of vitality
Now this one I believe is the power for the main base itself, so I don't think we can remove that.
caretaker. Systems active. Cycle beginning. Your mission remains grow and deliver. Lazarus pods require constant supervision. Confirm water supply. Confirm electrical flow. Ensure nutrient delivery continues without interruption. Growth must not pause.
Broken caretakers might give us tech scraps, but these beds give us high-tech scraps.
Food defines strength and body. Water and electricity keep the process alive. Service conditions
And occasionally you find very rare items that give you ultra-tech scraps.
maintain pods. Protect the racks. Secure continuity. Humans who grow will not remember you. They will not thank you. But without you, they cannot exist. Begin the cycle. Keep Ensure nutrient delivery continues without interruption. Growth must not pause. Pod carries one human being. Memory streams during growth stays trace. Food defines strength and body. Water and electricity keep the process. Service. The pod. Thank you. Without you, they cannot exist. You do not require recognition. You require purpose. Begin the cycle. Keep the flow steady. Carry on, caretaker. Active. Your mission remains the same. Grow, sustain, deliver. Lazarus pods require constant supervision. Confirm water supply. Confirm electrical flow. Ensure nutrient delivery continues without interruption. Growth must not pause. Pod carries one human being. Memory streams during growth stays trace. Food defines strength and body. Water and electricity. The process. Surface conditions remain. Human presence.
Okay, starting area looted. Okay, now we can go back.
Ordinary coolant. It was designed as a living system.
Now we can go back to the actual ship area, get that all looted, and then get the ship ready to depart and head out.
Grow, sustain, and deliver. Lazarus pods require constant supervision.
This elevator is really quiet for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay. That's dramatic.
Cockpit systems include navigation, maps, diagnostics, and and the Pico terminal. The terminals manage routes, track inventory, and read or send logs when the signal allows. Your FS-204 is not just transport, it is continuity.
Okay, looks like the battery's dead. While we're here, 3.8. Urethane, some glass, aluminum. Oh, we got some silicon. Not a lot of it, but we got some. Put all our new tech scraps in there. Okay, now then. Okay, and that confirms another theory for mine of whether or not the net will collect stuff when the ship is not moving. And it looks like it pretty much doesn't. Oh, we need that. Small diesel container. Okay, might as well do that. Yeah, okay. this still has diesel fuel in it. And our tank is not full. There we go. Diesel fuel is something we are going to cheat also, as that is part of the survival mechanic. But, no sense in leaving with an empty tank. Now, is this one separate? No, they are connected. Okay, I figured they were, but just to make sure. In fact, can we build a diesel tank yet? No. No, we cannot. But what we can build, something we need to build, which is a power source for the ship. And it is a good idea to have both wind and solar, as your solars obviously don't give you anything at night. Wind pretty much always works so long as there is actually wind. Yeah, that looks weird, but those should actually work like that, even though they look like they're going to run into each other. Let's put that. Okay, I didn't really... Okay, that's kind of irritating. these guys.
The bay also houses fabrication and recycling modules. The port keeps the system powered and able to reliably be maintained. Cockpit systems include navigation, maps, diagnostics, and the Pico terminal. Use the terminal to manage routes, track inventory, and read or see logs when the signal allows.
Because that is clearly what I freaking wanted to do. Alright, well, I guess we'll connect this over to here then. There we go. Okay. I think that's about everything. We can dismantle these boxes. And that is a small battery. Oh, we need this as well. What does it actually take to make one of those? An energy cell and an alloy frame. Oh no, now it's a battery. Oh, it's a battery. Yeah, okay. Where did I get that from? Battery cell. Rubber, fabric, and copper. Okay, so nothing crazy. Okay. Okay, and then the other one requires a storage cylinder and an alloy frame. Okay, and that's also just plain Jane stuff, so nothing we have to hoard too much at this point. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and disconnect. We'll keep that cable though, because hey, it's a useful cable. Alright, now let's go ahead and save our game. Okay. And let's hit the road. We've got our map. Nothing on it yet, of course. Turn off the anchors.
This vessel is more than just machinery. It's your refuge, your home now. Sail forth, Caretaker. Reclaim the waters humanity once commanded. The path is uncertain. Restoring navigational relays will illuminate our way. Beacon 49, eastward, should be your first step.
Indeed it will be. But that's a video for another day, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it apart here. And when we rejoin, we will make our way to Navigational Beacon 49. Until then, I'm Spot. This is Spot's Corner Gaming.
Basic crafting skills and generate your own resources to survive. Begin by fabricating a Lumalite solar panel.
I literally already did that, and they don't know that. But we'll do that next time. Until then, I'm Alan, this is Spot's Corner Gaming, and this is The Last Caretaker. Until then, thank you very much, and goodbye.